Hello and welcome back to Creepy Cutie Crafty. Welcome back to yet another crafting video with me, Heather. Hi guys, how are we doing this week? So yes, this week I am returning to my whitework piece. I've as you can see, finished the border that I did around the edge here with the white stitches, and I finished everything inside this circle. I'm thinking of coming back later and doing some maybe more of these wispy sort of patterns inside these circles here, but I don't know yet. I'm again making this up as I go along. So yeah, hi there. If you're new here, I am Heather. I am a crafter, and at the moment I'm in the middle of a couple of sort of biggish projects. I've got this whitework experimentation going on here. I'm trying to make a big sort of piece that I can frame and hang on the wall, but we'll see how we go when we get to that bit. But also I'm in the middle of a sashiko pattern, a sashiko project as well, but I don't know if I'm going to have time to get onto that one today. I might save that one for the end of the week, but I'm going to try and focus on this one today because I'm a little bit behind. Now, up until a couple of days ago, this whitework fabric, this hard hanger fabric, was in a smaller embroidery hoop. As you can see there, it's got a little bit wobbly. I'm not worried about that too much because at the end of this I'm going to iron it and get it looking nice, because apart from anything else I need to take away these pink lines. But I've taken it out of that small hoop and I've put it into my much bigger roller hoop, as you can see there, and I've strung up the side so it's nice and tense, nice and taut, and I've also folded those ends over a couple of times. I'll show you on the back, so you got it here. I fold it over and then over again, just so that I don't wind up fraying the outside edge of the fabric, because this one does really like to pull itself loose, and it's also rolled up into the hoop here. I'm probably not doing this absolutely 100% accurately, but I don't know what I'm doing with this. This is I very rarely use this large hoop because I'm normally doing much smaller scale stuff. But I think, you know, having it like this will help me to make it a bit more easy to make things even and balanced and symmetrical. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's going so far. There's a couple of things I want to just correct, like I want to do some more white work on the edges of here just to get it looking nice. But now I'm getting on to the black work bit, and I've been working with this stuff up until now. This is the DMC number 8 Perle, and now I'm going on to the black DMC number 8 Perle, and seeing how that goes. Now I'm going to refer to my Blackwork book, this one here, the Lesley Wilkins book. I do recommend this one. It's quite a good book. In it you've got all these different patterns that she does, and here she's got like the layout of the actual patterns on a grid, and then next to it you've got the same patterns on fabric, so you can see how they look side by side, which is very good. Now what I'm planning on doing is today working on some bits and pieces for the corners, and then next week I'm going to try and do something in the middle of these edges here. So I've got some kind of motif, and I want to almost do up until now what I've done is I've done like one big area of one particular design, but I want to try and see if I can get one of a pattern sort of like these, where it's an amalgam of different layouts and different patterns with different borders and edgings and things. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with that yet, but I'm going to try and start with the corners here until I get my ideas in place. Now the first pattern I'm going to be starting with is this one up here, so you can see that one just there, almost like a fern type pattern, and it should turn up looking like that one. I'm also having a look at some of the larger motifs up here in the back, so you can see how they look there, and having a go at seeing how they come together. So I'm just going to go back to the pattern that I was doing, yeah, so you can see it's a fairly simple pattern. It's a diagonal line going up 1, 2, 3, 4 diagonal squares, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 that way. I think I'm going to do a few of those, but because the pattern here is quite small, you can see on here, if I get my needle, it's stuck to my magnetic thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be quite small, so I'm thinking of doing it double length. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That might be too big though, so I think I'm going to stick with doing it the length as stipulated in the pattern book. I'm going to do really tiny ones. Seems I've got really tiny ones here, so I'm going to see how that works, and we'll see how we can get on with that from this point onwards. I am making it up as I go along again. I thought I'd start off with a simple stitch and then see how we go from that point. So let's get my thread ready. He said get my thread neddy, which would be a very strange thing to do. I don't know what a neddy is. And just getting my bits ready here. Come on, needle. There you go. I've got a little bee needle keeper there. I also keep my tweezers on there as well, just in case I need to pull bits and pieces off. That was very useful for the white work when I was doing drawn threads and pulled threads. So quite handy to have one of those around for this type of teeny tiny work. Now, as I mentioned, as well as doing this, I'm also doing my sashiko project, which I will be finishing. I'll be adding some more to tomorrow, probably, not to today, because today I want to focus on this one. I was talking last week about doing some more freehand stitching, because I've done a lot of very formal stitching over the last month or two. I've done a lot of sashiko, I've done a lot of whitework and blackwork and things, all these counted thread type pieces, and I think I need to have a bit of a break from that. So that's the corner there. So if I go from that point there, I'm just going to make a little hole so I remember where it is. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, then a gap just there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go in from there. Oops, excuse my tummy. And just come back to where I was before, and I'm going to use this to tie things off. I still would like to come back and do black work with some silk. I've got some silk, and I've got some silk thread that I want to try and do this with. I've just got to find the time to actually do it. My time, as we all know, gets more and more tied up. So that's 1, 2, come on, 3. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I need to get a macro camera, don't I? Because this is very tiny. And then I'm gonna have a space of 1. Oops, daisy. Then 1. Ooh. So 1, 2, 3, 4, space 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then go back again. So this is the oh my gosh, what's it called? The Holbein stitch, the double back stitch that you use to do black work like this. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's that, and then a gap, and then come back in from here. Then I'm going to bring that one up to there, so we can catch that little bit at the end. Hope hopefully this will be enough to hold it in place. I'm not going to snip that knot until I've got these patterns finished, so that I can just hold them in place and see what happens. Okay, so now I need to go, let's have a look, from here. So it's 1, 2, 3 and 4. Is that in line? It is. So I'm going to go from there. I'm just doing this one a bit more higgledy-piggledy at the start, because I'm just getting it all tied down and in place. It's a little bit like sashiko, but because you're using the double back stitch, it's solid lines rather than stabbed lines, which is a bit different, but you know, it's as I say, another counted thread stitch, another counted thread process, which is fun. And I really do like my my patterning, as you know, if you've been here regularly, but I feel the need to do something a bit more freehand next time, maybe. So I'm going to start looking at oh gosh, what's it called, natural dyeing and things like that, and have a go at making some like patterns and things. I've been looking at like marbling and tie-dye, and I want to have a try of some natural processes as well. Is that the right one? I do believe it is. You can see this is kind of teeny tiny, but it's going to fill up this whole space very quickly. Yeah, it should look nice. I sound confident in myself again, don't I? Oops, and I've grabbed me managed to lasso my my tweezers. There we go. Right, back you go. But yes, I mean, we've got a very busy few months ahead of us. Squinks has just done their anybody who's new here, Squinks is my child. They're 16 years old, and they've just about to do their GCSEs, and they've just done like a revision weekend with their school, and of course, being a revision weekend with lots of 16-year-olds, lots of the people in the group want to talk about how mature they are by staying up until 1 o'clock talking about, well, boys, I guess, and things like that. But I think Squinks enjoyed some of it, not all of it, but some of it. And they are back home now and knuckling down to their GCSEs and to their piano exams and all kinds of other bits and pieces. Oh my gosh, it's all going off at once, isn't it? And then we've got their trip to London coming up with me after they've finished all their exams, so we can have a bit of a wind down. So we're going to go and try and find some places in London to go and have a look at. I think they want to go to some of the like touristy places like Buckingham Palace and things like that, and they want to go and see oh my gosh, Big Ben, things like that. They want to see the Elizabeth Tower. So that's going to be interesting. But I'm definitely going to be going to some craft shops and some fabric shops and things whilst I'm in London. That is very much the plan for me for the moment. And yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend, I think, or a fun week, however long we manage to book it for. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Now, this is number 8 Perle. It's not teeny tiny, but you can see it's effective. It's doing the job, but it is a little bit lumpy and bumpy in certain areas. But I can live with that. And now that I've got all these bits of stitching down in this area, I can, oops-a-daisy, in you go. I can just snip off that knot there. Let's see if I can get this without snipping off all the rest of my stuff here. There we go. And on we go. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to be returning to Blackwork later in the year as well, because I have something planned for Halloween or for autumn time, because I want to start a new goldwork project for Halloween, which you guys probably saw a while ago, which is the Mary Shelley goldwork kit from Hand and Lock, which I'm really looking forward to having a go at. But I'm also going to be having a go at doing one of my own designs, one of my own ideas, that, you know, will fit in with the season as well. And I want to do something returning to insects and beetles, because years and years and years ago, anybody who's been here for a long time will know, I did an embroidery that was just a almost like a stump work beetle, and it turned out really nicely, I think. But there are things on it that there were things on it that I wanted to put right. So I think I'm going to be doing that come autumn, but doing my own sort of put my own twist on it. Like I say, I'm going to be using a little bit of Blackwork alongside the gold work, and it should be fun. I want to do something that's sort of highly patterned and highly decorative, and something that I can either put on my wall or possibly even sell, because I'm now at the point where I'm starting to think about selling some of the things that I create. So I want to make sure that if I do sell something, or if I do sort of submit it for maybe art exhibitions or whatever, it's something that's worth having a look at. But we shall see how that pans out. I'm still not the most confident of people, as you probably know from watching me. So I always wind up talking myself out of doing things that I maybe should push myself to do. But yes, it's all going on at the moment though. So it's like I've applied for, and I've had a job interview last week for a new position at the museum I work at. So I'm still waiting to hear on that. But then that should make things a little bit easier for me to have time to catch up on stitching, and also maybe doing some crafty things whilst I'm at work, because the museum that I'm going to be working in is very much of a crafty, creative type situation. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, it's all going on, and I have made sure to book myself off some days in the next week or two, so that I can catch up on my stitching. I can catch up on all my plans, and unwind just a little teeny touch, because I think I need to at the moment. It's getting towards the end of the school year anyway, which is why we're sort of planning this trip to London with Squinks. So, you know, it's the end of a year, it's the end of GCSEs, it's the end of quite a few things. So, of course, we're all very, very tired. And we all need some catch-up time, and I definitely need some catch-up time. And funny enough, it's like my husband keeps saying, oh, you need to take a break from stitching, you need to take a break from crafting. And I'm like, but crafting is how I relax. This is how I take my time, is how I you know, have my unwinding moments. Do you often find that it's like people seeing you not necessarily stressing over what you're making, but you're so hyper focused on it that other things kind of fall to the wayside, but you still want to keep going, because it's the one thing that, you know, helps to sort of center you and ground you and all those things. I don't tend to use airy fairy language like that. like things grounding me and finding my center. But in many ways it does, and I'm guessing that that's true for an awful lot of people. I've watched others here on YouTube saying that, you know, it's their mindful moment, their escape from whatever's holding their attention at that time. So, you know, it's, and there's an awful lot to be said about the therapeutic qualities of crafting and creating, isn't there? And I'm going to mention it again, AI. If you've got AI and it's doing the creating for you, then you aren't engaging with that creation and you aren't engaging with the world around it. Right, so those are my first two. They are teeny tiny. I'll see if I can get a decent photograph of those at the end. But I'm going to start over here. So we've got a space of 1 square there. And I'm going to do another couple of bits here and there, and then I'll work up this way. So these are teeny tiny stitches, and I hope you guys don't mind them being so teeny tiny, but that is what I've decided to go for. And I'm thinking of gifting this to my brother when it's over, but we'll see. He may not appreciate it, but then again, maybe he will. I don't know. I can talk about gifting things on here because I know most members of my family don't really watch my videos because it's not really their thing. It's a very strange thing. It's like I've come from a family of fairly academic people, so people who like to study like history and art and blah blah blah. And there's like a very thick streak of you know, booky type people, but then there's also quite a thick streak of crafty type people, and somehow the two don't always combine. It's a very strange thing. Never quite worked it out. I'm thinking actually maybe I'm just going to do half here. I'll see how that looks. If I don't like it, I can always fit it in later. But I'm just going to do like a half pattern on this side, and I'll do half a pattern on that side, and see how we go. And I was thinking of doing this with some of the rayon thread like this that I had before. It's pretty, but it would be very, very chunky, and you would lose that sort of the delicacy of the pattern. So this perlé is a bit better for it. It would be even better if I had like almost like ordinary sewing thread, like Gutermann sewing thread, to do this patterning with. But I'm sticking with my number 8 perlé because that's what I want to go for. And I'm, as I say, I'm still thinking about coming back and having a go with silk on silk fabric, because I think that could be a fun one to do, but again it's something that would almost definitely destroy my eyes, so I'd have to come back to it later, and we'll see how we go. I'm also thinking about what to put in the center here, so I'm thinking maybe it's something sort of inspired by nature, maybe, I don't know. But once I decide, I'll let you know, and you can tell me whether you like it or not. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to leave that one as half at the moment. And I'm going to think about filling it in later, but I think I actually like it with just the half. Trying to get that balance of black and white together. And I'm wearing my varifocal glasses, and maybe I should be wearing my close-up glasses. I think I should actually be wearing my close-up glasses, my reading glasses, but I'm gonna push through for now. I may have a break in a second, but we'll see. Yeah, so I'm going to concentrate just on the black work here today, and I'll do my sashiko for tomorrow. The sashiko pattern that I need to do I need to draw it out on things first. So we'll see how we go when we get to that point. But yes. Anyway. I really like how this is looking. It is teeny tiny, but that's okay. I've tried in this instance not to use too long. Hold on, there we go. I've tried not to use too long of a piece of thread this time because I don't want it to get tangled, but also as I'm going on, because I'm going to be doing lots and lots of teeny tiny individual stitches, I don't want it to fray and clump up, because then it would look uneven and it would look awkward. Anyway, someone's just giving me a phone call. Back in okay, sorry about that. That was my other half giving me a phone call from work whilst they're on their lunchtime. But yeah, so I've completely forgotten everything I've talked about in this video, so I'll have to start from the beginning again. No, I won't. Yeah, I use that as a quick excuse to change my glasses. I'm now wearing my reading glasses, which is a little bit better, but still a little bit, because I'm filming with this, I'm a bit further away from the surface that I need to be working on. So I'm a little bit, it's still a little bit difficult to see what I'm doing, but you know, I'm coping, and I'm throwing my leather thimble at myself for no reason. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to doing some more of this in a plan design. For this one, I'm again making it up as I go along. I'm seeing what fills the space. I'm seeing what I like and what I think will work, and just guessing. This is my supposedly proper. Hold on. Need to make the hand symbol. Proper piece of whitework / blackwork, but I'm still feeling my way as I go. I've not got an overarching plan for what I'm doing, so I'm just seeing what takes my fancy and filling the space. But when I come to doing my oopsie daisy, it's just gone back through there. When I come to doing my piece in the autumn, I will be planning it out a bit more carefully. Right, so I'm going back to here. Is that correct? Yep, it's correct. So I'm trying to make this sort of center line coming out from the circle. Now, when I'm doing this, I'm not going to be doing like huge amounts. I'm going to have like maybe 3 of these blocks here, and then keep the rest of it, because I want to have the rest filled with other bits and pieces. I will be deciding what I'm doing about that when I get to it, and I'll fill the thing with whatever takes my fancy. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then because it's under there, I've got a gap, so that's got to go to the, so that's 2. Yep. So I'm going to do another 2 of these here, and I'll do the same on the other corners when I get to them. So that's 1, 2. Is that just the one? It is. Ooh, trying to get it from the other side. 3 and 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then a gap, and then I'm going to do another one here. Actually, I'm going to go back on myself, and I'll do this area first, and then I'll do these 2 bits as well. So what I'm planning is, once I've got these blackwork patterns all nice and in place, I will come back and do some more whitework style or hard anchor style around the edge. And I've got some ideas about what I'm going to do at the very edge, so I've got to make sure I've got some space for that one. But it's interesting. It's using lots of little squares and lots of little bits of fill for all the areas on here. I've got a knot there. I have got a knot on the end. Hold on. There we go. But I've just got to get there first. So, yep. Nope. Where am I? So 1, 2, 3, and this is 1. I was supposed to do an extra one on the end there, wasn't I? Oopsie daisy. So I'm just going to go back in there. I'll have to just leave with a double stitch for this one, it's fine. And continue down here. And I can fill that in when I get to it at the end, that's absolutely fine. Now, I have seen people do this in such a way that they can just do all the lines going straight down. So I'm going to see if I can do that. But we shall see how that turns out. So I'll start from here, and then go in there. I suppose I could do just like one long stitch, but I think that would be less controllable. I mean, it would just start to wobble, wouldn't it? So if you had like one long stitch, it would get all skew-whiff because there's nothing anchoring it down, so it would make it bunch up maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. So back in I go. And then from here, one, 2, 3, 4. So it's got to go to there. Yeah. So look, it's a good idea for me to do this, but also I've got to remember that counting is not my forte. It's one of those things where, again, the confidence comes in, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm liking how this is looking though. I think doing this on each of the corners is going to be a nice sort of bookend for it. And see how far I get with this one. So that's the end of that one. And then I'm going to come back in there. And back in. Yeah, I really would like to have a go at doing this with silk because it's a much finer filament, I suppose you'd call it. The actual thread would be a lot thinner and a lot cleaner because this is like spun to get the shape of the thread. It's more likely to fray, whereas with silk, because it's longer filaments, it would be a little bit easier to work with. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I need to have an experiment. I need to try it out. Like I say, I bought the stuff to do it with ages ago, but then I let myself get distracted with another task, which is something that I know everybody does if they're a crafty soul. You know, it's very easy to get distracted by whatever you're doing. And like I keep saying, with me, it's not like ADHD, it's just that I've got so many ideas and so many things I want to try out and so many things that excite me about crafting. that it's very easy to get distracted by other things that you want to have a go at. And, you know, that's all well and good, but it does mean that you wind up with a house filled with half-finished projects that you just want to get complete. Or, you know, projects you haven't even started in some cases. But, yeah. So daisy. That's something that I know that everybody in the crafty community struggles with. You get too many ideas, you get too many possibilities, too many things you want to try. And, you know, you enjoy crafting for a reason, and that's the reason, because there's so many possibilities of what you can do that you want to do them all. Absolutely. But yes, and I am very much as guilty as the next person, so that's why I'm giving myself specific things to do now. So I'm specifically finishing off this whitework piece, and I'm going to be specifically finishing off the sashiko bag, because I've wanted to do that for years, and I've had all the stuff to make it with, and never got around to finishing it. So I do want to get that one finished, because it'll be something that I will use in years to come. So yeah, and that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, doesn't it? It's all very well, you know, learning the craft, but unless you can make something nice with it, and something that you will treasure and, you know, use and display and so on and so forth, it's something that you've got to, you know, find focus with, I suppose. I don't know. I mean, crafting for the sake of crafting, being mindful and all this sort of stuff, it is good for you, but at the same time, it's also nice to learn how to do new things for a purpose, I suppose. I may be talking nonsense again. I do that a lot. Anybody who's been on here, on my channel for a while, will know that I do tend to wind up rambling, because I'm focusing on what I'm doing and not focusing on what I'm saying. Fortunately, I haven't said anything too daft, too offensive, because sometimes I do wind up saying naughty words, like I did last week when I stabbed myself in the thumb. But you know, it's part of the course, isn't it? I know there are some YouTubers out there who feel free to swear on their channels, but that's their choice. I'm very much of a swearer in real life, but I try not to do it on here, because I feel like it's slightly more professional to, you know, not lose control of what you're saying, I suppose. I don't know. I may be talking nonsense. Right, this is being a bit weird, because these two stitches I've done twice now, and they both pulled through, and I'm not entirely sure why. So let's see if we can get that. That's fine, that'll be enough for that. And then I'm going to come back down here, and I won't pull that too tight, because I'm going to pull it through again. And then there we go. I think I may have gone squiffy. I've gone too far there. That's fine. I can live with it. It's a small mistake, but I don't think doing the entire length in one go is helpful in the grand scheme of things. I think focusing on just doing one at a time is the better idea. Just sort that little stitch out there that was a bit weird. I'm going to go back down to here and start again. But yeah, I am really looking forward to doing something a bit more freehand, but you know, there's an awful lot of other things that I'm enjoying at the moment in terms of crafting, in terms of art, in terms of making. I'm still doing like my pattern designs on my 1, 2, 3, 4 on my shorts, but also I'm going to start doing some more hand-drawn bits and pieces as well. Some things I want to try out. Gonna have to wait and see how that turns out though. But also when I get to the end of my sashiko project, there's something else I'm going to have a try at, because for a while I was doing some weaving bits and pieces, and I definitely want to return to those very shortly. Oops, and there goes the dog next door. And for the sashiko project, I'm making a handbag, and I would like to have a go at doing some more backstrap weaving. So I'm making a strap for the bag, using my little handheld heddle, which is the sort of the thing that you raise and lower when you're doing the weaving. And I've got some of the better thread to do it with. When I was doing my what's the name? Gosh, I'm forgetting all my words again today. The pin loom bits and pieces. I created a strap using wool, using yarn, which I don't think was strong enough at the end of the day, so I think I'm going to need to revisit that and make some adjustments. But now I've got the correct kind of yarn for it, which is mercerized cotton, which I will be using to create the strap. 1, 2, 3. Yep, I did go over. That's fine, it's not too big of a thing, it's only one little tiny thing. But yeah, that's definitely a good reason to stick to one area at a time so I can work out what I'm doing. There we go. And I've still got to add an extra one onto the end here. But yeah, I'm working with this resting on my knee. It's not as easy to handle, because with this hand I'm trying to hold the thing in place whilst I'm stitching, and also there is a good chance that when I put the needle through, I'm going to put it into my knee or into the blanket that's on my knee, which is not what I want to do, but we shall see how it goes. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. There we go. I like how that's looking. But yeah, I've got this right kind of yarn now for the backstrap weaving, the mercerized cotton that I've picked up at the Creative Craft Show, and I'm going to be using that to make a strap for my sashiko bag, which I'm really looking forward to having a go at, because I want to try and do something a bit more decorative than the plain weave that I did last time. Again, weaving is another one of those areas that I want to do more. I want to find more time to indulge in, but I really did enjoy it. I really do enjoy doing weaving. It's an odd one, I'm not one of these people who can pick a craft and stick to it. I'm one of these people who's I keep saying I'm a crafty magpie. I pick up ideas and things as I'm going, and I keep going, and then I keep going, and then I keep going, and then suddenly my house is full of 500 tasks that I need to get on with, and no time to finish them. But there you go. Anyway, yes, that's me and my crazy life again. But yes, just going to go into the, is that the right one? Let's just make sure. There we go. Yep, that's the right one. But yeah, so oops, daisy, that's just pulled itself out. Okay, pulled out both stitches in fact. Let's see if we can work out what's going on there. I think it's because of the weave. Yeah, because look, that's why it's doing that, because when I go through here, it's then coming back through and under because of the weave. It's coming back on the weave and putting itself through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here first, and then put a stitch in if I can. Yeah, that's a bit weird because it's that's what it was doing on the other side as well, over there too, wasn't it? Because the weave on this hard anger fabric is quite open, it's quite loose, it's making it more likely to go underneath the weave and get itself undone as I go. So I'm just going to have to be careful about doing that. Again, living and learning. So, yep, there we go. Let's get you back through, oopsie daisy, there. It is so teeny tiny. I hope you guys can see this. It's a very, very small working area. But, you know, I like it, and I'll get you a photograph of it at the end so that you can have a bit of a closer view of it. And then I'm going to come down to there. That's better. Yeah. So as you saw, because I did one right next door to the other and then pulled it through, because of the loose weave, which makes it very easy to do pulled threads and stuff, it basically pulled itself out. So I need to get to there. So yep. So mixing it up and coming in from all different areas won't make a very neat back, but it'll make it much tidier on the front, and it'll prevent things from being pulled through like that. But yeah, again, living and learning. It's interesting though, because I mean, I found that over here a little bit when you pulled a thread too tight, and then it just sort of jumped out because there was nothing holding it in place. But yes, I'm thinking that for these areas here, I might do this, but going in the opposite direction. I don't know. I might want to mix it up though. time still thinking through my ideas and very much making them up as I go along. So I'm going to try and get all these done in the next week, so that I can show you where I've got to in the next video. But yes, I'm getting into the nitty-gritty of it now, I think. But I am really enjoying how this is looking. I think it's looking pretty good. Don't know why I said it in that accent or that intonation, but I did. There you go. Right, so I'm going to go to that one rather than the one right next to it, just to make sure it doesn't pull itself back through. There we go. And then down to here. Has that one pulled itself through? It has. There we go. So, just going to have to tidy up some of these stitches in different places. And that's just how it is. Bit eels. There we go. I'm just going to get to the end of these couple of stitches and then get on to the next bit. And just to redo that stitch there because it was trying to pull itself through again. There we go. And that is that done. There we are. Can you see that at all? I will try and get a decent picture by the end of the video, but let me know what you think. It's teeny tiny, but I think it's quite nice. And like I say, I'm going to do another one of those there and do the same on the other three corners, and then see what I can work out for the centres of these areas here. But for now, I'm pleased with that. I'm going to put my stitch into the position for the next one. Where are we? There we go. Try not to pull it through too hard, because I now know that if I do that, the chances are it will pull through its thread. But I'll leave that as is. And yeah, let me know what you think of that down in the comments. And whilst you're down there, please remember to like and subscribe and all those lovely little things that help a tiny channel like mine to grow. And let me know in the comments as well what kind of things you think I should try, what kind of motifs, what kind of projects, what kind of crafts you think I should have a go at in future videos, because I love to hear your opinions. And yeah, I hope you have a fantastic week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you very much again, and bye bye.